Don't let me speak on it because I'm just going to manifest something new and amazing. Um, but we have some exciting plans for the year ahead. I'm really excited about meeting some of our community members in person in the new year. Really am. We are doing some in person events, and since COVID, it's been really hard to come back into event space. And the costs have gone out through the roof, and it's just been hard and I think risky as well. So 2025 is about coming back to real in-person events. First one kicking off at the end of January, which is going to be our speakers international treat in Miami. And Abigail, you'll be there, so I'm super excited to have you there by my side. So Miami will be amazing as far as coaching our speakers, but also launching our Women Thrive book there. So we have our international in-person book launch event, and I see Neo just commented. Neo is one of our authors. We are highlighting 14 authors who have been writing their stories for this half of the year, and finally their stories will be released in the Women Thrive book and end of January, 1st of February in Miami. We actually got a couple. We got a solo book that we're launching of our solo authors who published with us. I'm writing my own book, so that's something in the works. Not sure when it will be published yet because life is so incredibly busy. And we're going to have more events. I mean, the summit, of course, without saying, is always a highlight of the year. But we have some other in-person events lined up for the year, and I'm mentoring more speakers officially. I've never really done that before. I've never really opened my own program officially. This is the first time I am putting together my signature program that has been in the works for a long, long time. And I'm bringing together all of my knowledge and experience of working with speakers. So it's a program called Unapologetic. And I get to now officially mentor, support women who want to become speakers, professional speakers, paid speakers, and make a bigger impact through stages. And I know it's not an easy thing to do. There's a lot of people who struggle with sharing and speaking. It's the biggest fear as far as I'm concerned, and I felt the same way. And I want to support other people who want to speak on stages, like I started from not knowing anything to where I am today.
So good. I'm so glad that you are mentoring and coaching and supporting, and that the community get to have that piece of you because you are an incredible mentor. And I'm very, very excited for that. And congratulations on everything that you have achieved, that the team has achieved. It's just wonderful to have been a part of it. And of course, the in-person events. So exciting. What we're going to get up to in Miami? What to expect in Miami when people come along?
You give me goosebumps. Well, first of all, Miami is one of my first loves. When Danny was saying, "What's your favorite?" When I asked her, "What's your favorite destination?" Miami has always been one of my favorite destinations. So I'm really excited to take our community along for the ride to my favorite city because it's absolutely magical. It helps me personally manifest bigger things in my life and see bigger vision. It just expands your thinking. So in Miami, we together are going to run a 2-day workshop for speakers to help them really plan their year for 2025 as far as their business, their content, visibility, speaking, authority, leadership, and things like that. So it's going to be a very intimate 2 days event. Plus we have some photo shoots lined up, which I'm excited to get women some beautiful shots with a backdrop of Miami. That's just going to be insanely beautiful. And then the following day, on Saturday, on 1st of February, we're going to launch our books. And we're going to meet our amazing community and speakers and authors and have a lot of fun celebrating.
You were talking earlier about, the fact that, in-person events was such a big thing within the industry in general, but obviously with Women Thrive, because I know that that's how you first started the business and founded the business. And then obviously, lockdown happened, COVID, and things have slowly started to change, and it's becoming a little bit more easy to get together. How amazing is it when you can get together? Do you remember that time? I'll never forget when we did our Valencia retreat last year. I will never ever forget the screams that I heard from coming upstairs. We were in this beautiful, beautiful villa in the hills above Valencia. And I was like, what is that noise? And I realized that all of the authors had arrived at the same time in this 2 cars, and everyone was sort of seeing each other for the first time and seeing you. And it was just such a delight to witness. How amazing is it when you can get together with people and give them a big hug?
Stop it. Thinking about that. It's emotional because, you know, for me as a founder, I guess, is because I build and nurture and mentor these women and get to see them get to a particular place. But for them, building those beautiful relationships, the connections, the intimacy is deep. It's not like other places where, let's say, you sign up to write a book and it just is, oh, you just submit your chapter and that's it, you get published. It's not like that. For me, the quality over quantity is so important. So I want to mentor them. I want to review their chapters, feedback. But the space we share, the space we grow in and grow together and heal, I believe that speaking, authorship, visibility, sorry, your journey in becoming more visible is deeply healing and personal. And if you get to share that space with other women who are going through similar challenges, who are growing through this process, the relationships and bonds that you build are so deep. So I know when we get to meet in Miami, and there's quite a few of the speakers and authors coming, I think there's going to be about 10 or 15 people I have never seen in person, but I've built those beautiful, deep relationships with. I haven't even let my mind to go there yet, so what it's going to feel like, but I'm very excited.
Yeah, it's so exciting. I feel the same. Women that I've not even not just known through Women Thrive, I've known previously, that I've coached and mentored, and like it just feels like like whenever I meet someone that I've built a relationship with online in an online community in this space, it feels like you've known each other for years, and it's like it doesn't seem feasible that you've never actually met them in person. And then when you get to meet them, it's just such a wonderful experience. So we're very excited about all the things that are happening next year. And then we do have some incredible speakers for you. Just in a minute, we're going to introduce our next speaker. But one question that I wanted to ask you, Ramonda. So in January, we're going to be opening the doors to our next co-authored book series, and it's going to be book 5. How does that feel to move into book 5?
It was just a seed of an idea. I didn't even think we would do series. It was a suggestion from one of our community members, and it's amazing. It's not just a book. It's a testimony of women's stories of overcoming adversities and the inspiration and the impact that it continues to make in the world. And the community that we foster through the book series is amazing. We are going to open opportunity for book 5 for people to write their story and be part of this amazing journey. And it's going to be life changing. So if you are thinking about becoming an author, get in touch with us. Is going to be one of those life changing journeys. You get to mentor with us for 6 months and release your story into the world. But it's not just about the outcome of the publishing of your story, your book. It's the outcome of your personal growth and development, which happens in the process. And that is a life changing, not even talking about the lives that you're going to change as a result of you sharing your story. And that's just phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely. That whole process is going to be starting in January, where we're going to be taking applications. And then, if you want to be considered, just as Ramonda said, just let us know, and we'll we'll mark your name, and we will be in touch as soon as that opportunity opens up. And you can just jump on a call with me and just have a conversation around it. I'm really, really excited about everything that's going to be happening next year.
Thank you, Abigail. Appreciate you. Appreciate you being just my partner in doing all of this. I've done this for so long on my own, and just having someone like you to support and hold space for the speakers and authors. And when we do these events, it's just knowing that somebody has my back is just makes me feel like, what else can we do? We're truly unstoppable. And that's just to support others, to support our community, to support our speakers and authors. And I want that growth for everyone. And I hope that's in us. They find that friend and a cheerleader and the community that will always stand by them. So that's my goal and intention.
Thank you. I appreciate you as well. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you in person again in Miami. Let's do a photo shoot.
Let's have fun and then go boogie. You promised me a night out. We're gonna go and have fun.
I did. I was like, you have one night where I'll turn into get my 20s back again, right?
Let's do it. So come and join us. It's going to be amazing.
Amazing. Well, I reckon by your timing, Ramonda, in Spain, it is 11:11. So that is a really good sign to move on to our next speaker. Shall we do it?
Let's go. Let's go have fun.
Thank you. Thanks, Ramonda. Okay, so we're very excited to introduce our next speaker onto the stage. Her name is Elena Su. She is the founder of Neodance, a creative self-leadership practice for heartfelt visionaries to embody their true self and reclaim their personal power through embodied transformation. Somatics and dance. She especially supports the out-of-box thinkers to own and express their unique brilliance and boldest ideas, because you were not born. I love this, Elena. You were not born to be vanilla. You certainly weren't. Welcome to the stage, Elena. How are you?
Hi, thank you, Abigail. Yes, I'm good, thank you. Hi, everyone. And what a wonderful morning it's been already. I haven't seen all of it, to be truthful, but here I am, and just wanting to follow up, first of all, how amazing Women Thrive is and how creative and so much is happening with it. And this is all going to weave back into what I'm saying. So Abby and Ramonda just talked about COVID. You remember that time, right? When we couldn't go out, we were restricted. And I remember I heard of someone who lives in Ibiza. He lives in the countryside. He's got a little house in the Campo in the countryside. He went out for a run to stretch his legs, right? And the Spanish policeman was probably bored and fined him on the spot. I think it was about 150 euros for going out for a run around his house, right? Now, how often, though, do we still police ourselves with what we say, as women especially? How often do we feel like we can't say no? We feel guilty to say no. We feel guilty to have that boundary with our partners, with our business colleagues, with our children, right? With our friends. How often do we think, oh, I'd like to wear that, but I'm not quite sure if I can wear that. It won't look good on me, right? We stop ourselves. We make that judgment. And then it goes even worse. It goes into our behavior. Um, you know, I remember after my son started at school, when we went shopping in the supermarket, when we went to pay, I was standing slightly out of line. Goes, Mum, get in the line, quick, get into the queue properly, stand straight. And I thought, whoa, okay. So this is what happens when you start school, right? So this acculturation starts young. And all of this is in our bodies. Okay, it's in there in our bodies. That's why all our trauma, our stories, our histories, it's all there in our bodies. That's why now so many of us, if we have trauma and we go to do trauma work, it's all about somatics sensing back into the body and learning. Now, aside from all of this self-policing that we already do, another aspect of the fact that we restrict ourselves is that it also stops our creative process, right? We are ambitious people. we want to create amazing things in the world. We need to put our ideas out in the world. But if we are stuck in our bodies, that creativity isn't going to come out. So in the basic model of the creative process, and there's quite a few of them, but there's like 4 basic stages. The first stage, we're sort of like struggling, we're thinking about the ideas, our brain's overactive, we're in beta state. And then it goes into the second stage, which is the release, or what they call the incubation stage. Now, in Jungian archetype, it's the stage of the wanderer. And when you wander, it means that you allow your mind to be more free. And to enable your mind to be more free, you also have to let the rest of you, your mind that is connected to your body, be more free. And so my practice is through movement, through dance, through somatic work, through embodiment, because when you allow release and ease in your body, it allows your mind to free up, right? Movement and dance not only help you drop out of your overstretched beta brainwave state, when you're overstressed, fight or flight, all of that cortisol running to the hilt, it helps you get back, drop down into your alpha state, which eventually goes to alpha delta. And that's when you are meditating, deep meditation. Your brainwaves drop out of your busy frontal cortex and they go back into this more dreamlike quality. And movement is a really fun and easy way to do it, especially if you find sitting meditation a struggle, because actually a lot of us are on such overdrive and hyperactive. Plus, we're sitting a lot of the time at the desk. Even I am, I'm a dance person, but I have to sit at my desk to do all this online stuff, right? We can't avoid it. So actually, what we need to do to then free ourselves up is get into our bodies and move. I think I might be running out of time here, so I'm just aware of that. But that's just my message for today. You want to get creative, you need to get into your body, you need to open up your brain, and you need to allow yourself to move. So I hope something of that resonated, and I hope that will mean that you just get up and have a little break in a minute. If you're at a desk, if you're sitting down, go out for a walk, make sure you get some of that movement in and let your brain juices start going. Thanks for joining me for this.
Thank you so much, Elena. You're getting some support here online, your fans. I carry on. Elena, thank you so much for sharing. I really love when you talk about the science behind it as well, right? Because how often do we feel our creativity being blocked? Because, like you said, like your son's like, stay in the queue, stay in line, and it's almost like it's like this. I've got to do what I am told to do, and I've got to be good, and it's almost like this people pleasing that comes out instead of this ultimate freedom that we want to create. What can we do? In terms of like starting to just very slowly integrate that into our lives. Where do we start, Elena?
I think we start with the very basics, which is learning to feel our bodies again. So many of us are actually cut off from that because of past traumas and histories, or because we get locked into the same way of moving, right? The way we stand at the cooker, the way we open the fridge, the way we have these habitual ways of moving our bodies, okay, getting into the car, getting out the car, and freeing that up can slightly feel weird and strange and uncomfortable, right? When we don't move in the ways that we used to. So allowing different ways to move and feeling your body again. A lot of us are, when I say we're cut off, we don't notice our feet on the ground. We're not aware of the weight of our pelvis that supports our gravity and that connects us to where we're sitting. We're not aware of feeling our spine lengthening and being this central axis that goes through our bodies to support us. Because when we start to feel these things, we're dropping out of here. We're dropping out of beta brainwave and we're dropping further deep in. It's almost like you go, something drops when you start to sense into your body again. And this is part of the somatic aspect. And this is part of being embodied, being aware of your physical being and the space you're taking up and the way you're moving in space. It's stuff that we don't often think about. right? Unless we're sort of going into a place where we have to squeeze into a queue, or we're trying to squeeze into something that doesn't quite fit us, then we start to notice our body. And what do? We criticize. We don't sort of just listen and notice and feel and sense, but without judgment. And when we do that, we're not thinking about what our to-do list, we're not thinking about anything else, because we're dropping back into something deeper that's our inner support. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely. And, it's a really good reminder, especially as a lot of our audience actually are aspiring speakers. And I think it's a really good reminder to, as part of that preparation, it's not just what you say and, how you look and how you're lit and, your backdrop. It's also about the preparation, the movement, and getting your body in that state when you're speaking. So it's a great reminder to all of us. Thank you so much, Elena.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We are very excited to have you speak on our stage on the summit in 2025. Are we going to expect to have a little bit of practical?
You're going to get all of it. You're going to get some lovely infographics to show you exactly what's going on. You're going to get some guided movement time. I'm going to really take you in without, and help you to just drop out of your mind, get into your body, just experience a bit of it. So for those of you who really like to know the facts, you'll get a bit of that. For those of you who like to see something, you can see me demonstrating. For those of you who like to learn experientially, you're going to get that, because that's the best way to learn. And of course, it's all about the body. So it is a talk, but it's going to be a walking talk, walking, dancing, moving talk.
Wonderful. Thanks, Elena. We are very much looking forward to it. And thank you so much for coming on and speaking on the showcase today.
Thank you. Thank you, Abby. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Lovely to be here.
Thank you. Okay, so we are going to move from the UK, where Elena is based, and we're going to be going right around the other side of the world, where actually we're going to be catapulting you now into the future, because it's evening time there now for our next speaker, who has been on in the green room right from the very beginning of this course. I've been looking at her lovely, beautiful face as we've been speaking, and now it's her turn to come onto the stage. So I'd really love to invite onto the stage Gail Tagaro. So Gail is the book writing coach, and she has been coaching and supporting writers since the early 2000s. She is a published author herself. She's written fiction and non-fiction books. And in her signature book coaching program, the Book Writing Academy, she supports writers to write and complete publishing-ready fiction and non-fiction books to communicate their knowledge and stories. Gail, it's so amazing to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Abby. There's been quite a lot of talk about books tonight from Michelle and Danny and you and Ray. So it's quite a relevant topic, I think.
We've been setting you up, Gail. And it's quite late there, isn't it? Are you a night owl?
Not particularly, but it's not too late because I'm in Queensland and it's 8:23 here. So not too bad at all.
It's not too bad. Gail, it's wonderful to have you here. Please take the stage.
Thank you, Abigail. So the beauty of self-publishing your book is that you get to go on the exciting journey of choosing your own book cover and how your book is going to look. And so my talk tonight is based on my own very recent experience. I've chosen to self-publish my books. I've published 2 books so far. I'm publishing my 3rd book on the 3rd of January, and I only just realized that coincidence, my 3rd book on the 3rd of January, but the significance of that date is that it's my mum's birthday, so celebrating her as well. So my own experience with I work with a lot of different types of writers writing a lot of different types of books, and I work with them from the start of their book writing journey right through to finishing writing their book. And then once they're finished, then I guide them on the next stages, and the very next stages are getting their book professionally edited and then having their book cover designed. So working with a designer and also if they want their book to be available as an ebook, then working with an ebook designer as well. So as I said, I've very recently gone through this myself with my current book, which is a travel memoir. And I just wanted to tell you a little about that. And the importance of working with experts, because you spend so long writing your book. For some people, it's many, many years. For other people, it's a few months. But the average time that it would take for you to finish your book and get to the point of being ready to go to the designer would probably be close to 12 months. So I worked with a designer here in Australia. Now I could have gone to, and I'm not bagging it, because there are definitely good people, but I could have gone to a platform like Fiverr. However, with my business, as I said, I help and advise my clients what to do for the next steps. And so I've worked with various book designers over the years, and I chose one of them to work with. The experience was absolutely amazing. She was so professional. I absolutely love my cover. Every time I see it, I just smile. And it was just such an amazing experience. It took me a surprisingly long time to decide on the cover, because there was so many things that I had to take into account, and you don't really realize this until you start working with an expert and they explain what's involved exactly. So yeah, I mean, you have to, it's not only the cover either, you've got to think about the internal design, and there's quite a few design decisions to make about what the look is going to be inside. But as I said, when you are self-publishing, that's the beauty. You get to choose the look and feel of your book. So I went through that process with her and everything worked out absolutely perfectly. She eventually, when we'd finished, she sent me all of the files, and there's, for actually uploading to Amazon, as well as to use on social media and promoting the book and everything like that. So it's a lot of material that you get sent. And then I wanted to, so with the files, I wanted then to have an ebook created. So again, I worked with someone that one of my clients has worked extensively with, and I decided that she was the person that I wanted to work with to convert for the ebook conversion. So obviously there's quite a bit of difference in the print book layout, etc., as compared to the print book with the ebook. So she did that process probably in less than 3 days, probably 2 days. And then today we had a Zoom call, and she talked me through the whole process of uploading it to Amazon. In fact, she did more than just talk me through it. She actually shared the screen with me, and she did it for me and explained every single field, what it meant, what I had to put in there, or what she was going to put in there, and all of the technical stuff that would send me into a bit of a panic, like, the metadata, like the keywords, the categories on Amazon, so that your book can actually be searched for. Well, she did it. We did the whole thing within 45 minutes, and she uploaded it, the cover and the manuscript, and what I was able to put the date as the 3rd of January. So it's just sitting there. I'm going to go in tomorrow and do exactly the same process with my print book. And then I don't even have to think about it anymore, because on the 3rd of January, it will automatically go live. So this week, at the same time as all this was happening, I had one of my clients who has just finished we just finished her children's book, and she went the opposite way to me. She went through someone, not on Fiverr initially, but someone that she'd heard of. Well, she ended up being completely unhappy. He didn't do what she asked. And so she'd already paid him. And so she then had to go and look for someone else to do it. And she found someone on Fiverr, and I think she's been happy with them. So I guess my takeaway message from this is, I personally think that with all of the effort and time that you put into writing your book, it's better if you haven't got the funds to employ somebody or engage someone who's really an expert in their field in the book design area, that you just wait a little longer to save up, because it really is well worth it. Your book goes out to the world, and you really want to be proud of it and, smile like I do every time I see the cover. So you can, if you'd like to connect with me, my Instagram is below here in the chat, on the screen here, and I'm also on LinkedIn as Gail Tagaro, the book writing coach. So thank you so much.
Gail, thank you so much for sharing that process. I'd really love to hear in your words, what to expect from you when you speak on the Women Thrive stage on the summit in 2025. What is the story that you're going to be taking? What is the inspiration that you're going to be bringing to the stage for our audience?
Sure. Well, at this stage, I'm thinking of how to, for people who want to write a book, how they can achieve that dream goal of getting their book written, what they need to do, and how they can go about achieving that, so that they get from blank page to finished book. I want to take people through that journey. Yeah.
Wonderful. So you're going to be offering some real practical guidance and wisdom. We're really looking forward to that, Gail.
Yeah. Thank you.
I wanted to ask you, what inspired you to be a writer? What's your why? What is it that you wanted to create in your life through being an author and helping your clients in this way?
Wow. I've just always loved writing, Abigail. Absolutely always loved it. But as it turns out, to actually have become an author has happened later in my life. But and I've coached a lot more people through writing their own books before I really started doing my book. So yes, I published 2 books 5 years ago, and I'm about to publish my 3rd. And then I'm already writing my 4th. So it just seems to be escalating, which is fantastic. And yeah, I just love seeing people realize their dreams, because writing a book is a huge accomplishment, and it's a huge, I don't like using the word journey. We all overuse it, I think, but it's a very long road, to travel to get to the end of writing. Or, when you think of starting a book, or when you think I want to write a book, but from there to actually sit down and do it and consistently work at it, several times a week, and to get to the end of that process and to have your book finished, seeing the faces of the people I work with when they achieve that, it's just amazing. Yeah, I just love it.
That's one thing that I hear again and again from people like yourself, that, you know, and from Rwanda and the, you know, our authorship team here, and for other people that I speak to, like the sense of accomplishment, you know, the support that you give to these people, that doing something that I would think is a real lifelong dream, right, really coming into fruition. That's a really amazing superpower that you have, Gail.
Thank you, Abby. I feel very lucky.
Yeah. Well, Gail, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your wisdom, and we're very excited to have you speak on our stage next year. It's not going to be long, is it? Only a few months.
That's right. Not long at all. Thank you so much, Abby. I've really enjoyed it.
Just in the meantime, where can people find you? I know you've got your handle, so I love that you do that. I do that as well, just so that everyone can find you. But where do you hang out? Where's the best place to find you and follow you online?
Either Instagram, which is the handle down there, or LinkedIn, where I'm exactly what I've got on the screen, Gail Tagaro, the book writing coach.
Amazing. Thank you, Gail. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for I know it's not too late, but, you know, thank you for coming on your evening time. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on board.
It's been a pleasure too. Thanks, Abby.
You. Okay, so how are we doing? How are you enjoying our speakers? We actually have a couple more speakers that I want to share with you. So please stick around, because we have got some amazing words of wisdom. But I'd really love to know in the chat. Let's keep it active. Let's keep it interactive. We're going to give you some energy. You give us some energy back. I'd love to see in the comments what it is that you are learning from today. What's your main takeaway? What's your inspiration? Which are the speakers that are standing out for you? And also, because we're talking about books today a lot, if you were to write a book, what would it be about? And what would the title be? I'd love to know. And also, what would be on the front cover? You know, I love speaking, so I've never, a lot of people ask me if I'd ever write a book, and to be honest with you, I'd rather have a TV show, which is why I love doing this. But I just love to read books, and I really, really admire anyone that would really go through that process, because as Gail's just said, I mean, Gail, I know it is a little bit cliche, but it is a journey, right? It's a journey. And certainly from the experience of watching the transformation and that journey that our authors go through, especially when they co-author the books with Women Thrive, it really it kind of brings things up, right? It brings it. That whole process of writing a book is incredibly cathartic and healing. And I'm sure, Gail, you'll agree with me. Michelle, who was one of our speakers earlier, who also helps people write books, I'm sure that you'll agree with me that this is it's a beautiful process of transformation. So certainly if that is something that is on your bingo card for 2025, then why not get that big dabber pen out and put a big red mark on that you're going to be doing it. So we love your comments. Thank you so much. Clodagh, we're going to be inviting Clodagh onto the stage in a minute. I love Gail's focus on bringing a dream to life. So do I. Amazing. So let's move on now to the very Clodagh who has just commented there. So I would love to invite our next speaker onto the stage. So Clodagh Mickeljohn is a transformational leader, speaker, and founder of the Quantum Heart Academy, where she empowers heart-led leaders to break through inner barriers, achieve heart-centered success, and step into intuitive leadership and magnetic presence. Through her groundbreaking quantum heart activation process. I love that word, but I love that, by the way. She integrates cutting-edge quantum science to create flow states and unlock limitless potential in life and business. Clodagh, welcome to the stage. I absolutely love your bio.
Oh, thank you, Abigail. It's such a pleasure to be here. And I really love the focus today on the way I've perceived it is, self-love. From the start of today's session, you were talking about conditioning and how we as women have been conditioned to compete against each other, and actually how beautiful communities like this are changing all that. And it's just been a theme, because Pia was also talking about, not shaming our emotions and making them negative. And to me, it's all about, treating ourselves with that self-love, that self-compassion, about honouring our experience and honouring our healing. So beautiful.
Oh, yes, it really is. And I know that you build your own communities as well. You have wonderful communities. You're hosting your own summits. We're really excited to hear all about that. But we'll have a little chat afterwards. Clodagh, please take it away.
Thank you, Abigail. So all of us here are on a mission really to help women step into their power and really live to their full potential. For me, this is really about living our true nature, because we are energetic beings. We're heart-centered beings. And I really feel that, as many of us do, heart-centered leadership is really what the world needs right now more than ever. And so much of the time, Elena mentioned this as well, we live in our heads. So much of what stops us in life comes from stories we've created, beliefs we've formed, patterns of behaviour that have become more familiar, and conditioning. And so I'm wondering, how many of you have felt you were called to more? You felt the calling to something bigger, but then something gets in the way, like fear, like doubt, or like invisible resistance that you can't put your finger on. Or maybe you have that desire deep in your heart, but something always seems to block it. You've probably had a vision for your business, but maybe you felt like an imposter. And maybe you've heard that inner voice that just tells you that something's not possible, or asks you, who are you to do that? Well, did you know that your heart holds the key to your purpose, but also to your success? Now, hear me out on this, because most of us hear that the heart is the gateway to the soul. We're invited to follow our hearts. The great Sufi poet Rumi said, your heart knows the way. And I've experienced this in a really powerful way. Now, many of us here have experienced or had a corporate past, and I was once an award-winning TV director. I was living in London, I'd got married, I'd bought a house, and I'd been truly blessed with a beautiful, healthy baby boy. Now, my heart and my intuition guided me out of total chaos when my marriage broke down suddenly, my boy was still tiny wee, and that life fell apart. I faced heartbreak. I felt like everything was collapsing around me. The dreams I'd had, everything I'd worked towards was falling apart. But in a moment of deep despair, I received a powerful, intuitive message. And instead of trying to fix what was broken, my heart led me to start afresh, going against my logical mind, which was telling me to try and fix the problem. And much to everyone's surprise, shock, I moved with my son to a tiny town in Spain and started a completely new chapter. Now, of course, when I went there, I had absolutely no idea how it would turn out. But I started a new business. I trained as a coach. I trained in a host of transformational modalities. And I really felt the strong call to empower others and to really help women create what they truly desire in life. And I know that this is the calling of many of us. There's many of you listening, many of us entrepreneurs, many of us start businesses because we want to help others. But we all experience doubts, uncertainty, fears. We can feel guilt or shame when things don't go right or as we planned. And I was no exception. Even though I'd helped countless people on TV and had done presenting, when it came to showing up in my own business, all sorts of resistance arose. And this is normal. Most of this resistance, as I mentioned, comes from stories we've created, often unconsciously. It's come from what we've learned from often well-meaning parents, guardians, teachers, or conditioning, societal expectation. And Abigail alluded to this earlier, we also bear the imprints of past generations. Many women have blocks to visibility because we were persecuted for our gifts. And this is all part of our experience. The key is not to blame yourself, not to criticize yourself or judge yourself, which of course we do, but to treat yourself with self-love, to honor your experience and to know that whatever you're walking through is an invitation to get curious and to bring you back to your true nature. Because what I discovered is the heart may give us intuitive guidance, but it also holds the key to releasing those limitations and fears. Because your heart isn't just intuitive, it's intrinsically connected to your energetic self, to your higher self. It was the very first organ formed in the body, so it has this powerful energetic connection to your highest potential. And this connection, as I mentioned, not only explains the intuitive knowing, but it also opens the door to deep and potent healing and to releasing the blocks that hold you back. So it's really about treating yourself with love, the experiences you've been through, for facing the fire of adversity and learning from it. And I developed my quantum heart activation process to help clear these limitations and blocks. And many of my clients have overcome fear of failure as well as fear of success and resistance to being visible and to stepping into their leadership. And they've also overcome self-sabotage patterns we can't understand in our own behavior, so that they can create what they truly desire. And they've also released money blocks so they can create thriving businesses. So today, my invitation to you is to tune into your heart and know that that calling is real. Believe in yourself and your true nature. And a technique I often share is to drop into your heart and really tune into what I call a true choice. So you drop into your heart and ask, what would I truly love? What would I truly love? And then don't judge yourself for having resistance to your true desire. Honor yourself and your experiences and get curious about unearthing what comes up for you. And you really can begin to unearth this in a very simple way by really, as I say, dropping into what you'd love, tuning into it, and then finishing this sentence quickly and without overthinking. I'd really love this, but, and just see what comes up for you. Don't overthink it, whatever comes up for you. So this is getting curious about the thoughts, the emotions, the patterns that come up for you, because awareness is obviously the first step. And then when you begin to clear these limitations and get alignment between your heart and your higher self and your conscious mind and your unconscious, this is the meaning of true alignment for me, and to living your true nature as a heart-centered woman. So if there's one thing I'd like to leave you with, it's just this. Whenever resistance crops up, whenever adversity strikes, just remember that your heart holds the key to your greatest potential and your deepest joy. So just imagine the possibilities when you unlock it fully.
Clodagh, thank you so much. I could listen to you for a long time.
Oh, thank you so much.
I love when you talk about the heart. You know, as you know, I am absolutely obsessed with and work with human design.
Mm-hmm.
In human design, there's 9 centers and the heart is the smallest. But I always say it's small but mighty, because the heart really does run the show. And that beautiful practice that you taught, and I know that you do so much, you know, the heart healing, the healing through love and through the heart, is such a beautiful practice.
And I also know, I was listening to one of these previous events, and you told a really powerful story about your heart and how grateful you are for your heart for guiding you in a different way, but leading to where you are today.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, with my heart condition. Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? Where you can, you know, you can be sort of like in your head, like you were saying, in your head, doing, and then your body can be like, enough, that's it. And sometimes they're very subtle, and sometimes, in my case, not so subtle. I really love the work that you do. Thank you so much for sharing it so beautifully.
Oh, it's been an absolute joy to be here today. I've got the sun streaming in, so I haven't got my light on, because you're in sunshine in the UK as well.
Yeah, actually, it's quite a nice sunny day today. It's been pretty miserable, typical British weather. But yeah, we've got a bit of sunshine today, which is always good. Clodagh, where can we find you to discover more about your work? And please share with us about the summit that you've got coming up as well.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, well, I've got some resources which help you activate your heart energy and also clear some of those blocks. And my contact's obviously in the chat. You can reach out to me, send me a message on Facebook or Instagram. And I'm so excited about the summit, the upcoming summit. It's such an incredible lineup, and we've all been getting to know each other over the last few months. So I'm going to share how to unlock the quantum power of your heart in order to amplify your impact, your influence, and your income. And I'll be diving a bit deeper into the science, the merging of science and ancient wisdom, really, in the power of the heart. Science is basically showing what ancient wisdom has known for millennia. And yeah, basically I'll share how quantum energy and heart activation are the secrets to locking your limitless potential.
We are very much looking forward to it, Clodagh. Thank you so much. And thank you for coming on and joining us today.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Enjoy the sunshine. What's it like where you are? Hey, typical British, we just talk about the weather immediately. Start to talk about the weather. Who's ready for our last speaker? We have one more amazing speaker, amazing woman to share with you. I want to make sure that you are still awake, you're still with us, you're still cheering us on. Let's have some comments, some yeses in the chat if you are ready for our next wonderful speaker, who I'm going to introduce you to now. Her name is Grisha Andrea Stigler. I'm so sorry, Grisha, if I've got your surname right. Let me just. Is it Stigler?
Stigler. Yeah, it's a kind of like German Schwab name. Yeah.
So if it's Stigler. Yeah. Amazing. I'm so sorry. Right, I should know this by now. Anyway, Grisha. Now we're saving the best until last, because Grisha is an orgasm coach. She's a trauma and transgenerational healing specialist. We've spoken about generational trauma on our other talks, and Grisha's going to bring it all together. And she's the founder of the Conscious Woman Academy, with her unique, holistic, express, I want to say it like that, method. She empowers women to break free from the limitations of their past, rewrite their old stories, and unleash their full potential to create the life they truly desire. Grisha, it's so lovely to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm so excited. And, I was just in the waiting room, and this excitement was very strange for me. So I'm really, really curious what will come up, sharing my story.
Wonderful. Take it away.
Yeah, thank you very much. And today I brought a little Christmas story, and as we are in this holiday season, and my main passion is pleasure, and showing pleasure on different ways, just out of the bedroom. And Christmas always has been somehow magic, tradition, self-love, and also love, because self-love was they were the previous amazing sisters were talking about. And but instead of following this usual script, we could also create something special, filled in some kind of new magic, and which is rooted pleasure, joy, and maybe deep connection. And I brought two short stories about when I was losing and reclaiming the Christmas magic. 20 and a half years ago, my grandfather passed away, and I didn't know at that time that I lost the magic of Christmas, because he was the kind of the center of our holiday celebration. And for years, as I mentioned, I was not aware what happened, and I tried to create some new habits and rituals, but somehow I felt, now I know, and this season I realized that I tried to create new rituals, but I was not enough brave because, I had another generation who I felt that they are responsible for creation. And somehow this season, I realized that, and it was a big and painful aha moment when I realized that my grandfather was the one who hadn't created the spirit of Christmas for the whole family. So this year, when I realized it, I made a decision. I'm reclaiming the magic, but in a way, it feels deeply aligned with who I am right now, not like a little girl. And of course, I'm also treating and nourishing my little girl inside of me. And I've created new rituals and also respecting the traditions I'm carrying and I inherited from my grandparents. And but on the way that I'm creating some most ordinary moments into an extraordinary ones. And I have started creating a new pleasure rituals, and I have also more surprises for my family and friends for the next week. So I'm sure that, and I believe that they will also like it. And on this journey this month, I had an unexpected magical pleasure experience, and I would like to also share this with you. And if you know me, you know. If you don't know me, I will tell you now that I'm a sunny and summer and warm lover. So it's really good. And then today in Budapest, there are not so sunny. And most of the winter time I spent in some kind of seasides and sunny water and weather. And last Sunday I absolutely stepped out and way out of my zone, my comfort zone. And you can imagine that under the full moon light, it was so beautiful. And there was in close to Budapest, there was also a little rainbow around the moon. And I went into 4.7 Celsius water. And it was cold, so intense. But what experienced, it's nothing, just a miraculous. And instead of I felt that discomfort, I felt an overwhelming wave of ecstasy and connection deeply with my heart. And then we were also talking about heart before. And my heart felt like it was so opening. And I also experienced a heart orgasm. And that moment, these moments were so pure. And this unexpected pleasure is still with me. Even I can feel it right now. And this reminded me that pleasure is unexpectable and unpredictable, and unexpected ways could come, and it's always opening and brings expansion into our body, into our mind, into our emotions. And also it can appear on the most unlikely places, and we need to be curious and open to receive it. And I'm not inviting you to do the same what I've done, and it doesn't need to always require extreme actions, but sometimes we can find it in the smallest and simplest moments, like drinking a water or your coffee, or smelling some beautiful essential oils, or just with a laughter or softness of a blanket, or touch from yourself as a self-love ritual, or receiving some touch or kind words from others. So this Christmas, I invite you to explore more pleasure in all kinds of forms. and let go the rigid traditions that no longer serve you, and create some space for joy, curiosity, and connection. And it's like don't need to it doesn't need to be a grand gesture. It could be some really small things. So I would like to encourage you to approach each day with curiosity and openness, and ask yourself, what would bring me joy today? Whether it's a small thing or a self-care, as I mentioned, or a bold leap into something new, and embrace it with open heart. So let's make Christmas not just about giving to others, but also receiving the magic of pleasure, joy, and connection to ourselves.
Great. Oh, there we go. Grisha, what a great way to end this. Oh my goodness. You told that you shared this story yesterday as well with us about jumping into that lake. Well done. That is no mean feat. It really takes something. And I'm so glad that you got the pleasure from it. That's amazing.
Yeah. And yesterday when we were talking about, and you said that, Christmas feeling, and then oh my gosh, that I really want to share that we need to find pleasure. And then Christmas and this holiday season should be about us opening our heart towards ourselves, and also what Raimonda just shared in the introduction, just really connecting deeply with ourselves and unapologetically stepping to and showing and shining our light. And I think this is all about. And this is the best timing right now.
Just I'm smelling my beautiful perfumed oil as you're speaking, and just feeling the pleasure of the warmth from the radiator, and I've just washed my dress so it feels nice, and just wonderful. Merry Christmas to you, Grisha. I love your energy, and you know what I love about you really embody the Empress. You embody it so much, and we're just honored to have you on our stage. Where can we find you? Where can we connect with you? Where can we learn more about your beautiful gifts and wisdom?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn at Girisha Andrea. So easy.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for closing us out today with a bang, with a big O.
Thank you very much. Thank you
so much. Thank you. So we are now at the end of the first part of Unleashing the Power of Women's Voices. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope that you've really enjoyed it. It doesn't take much to take Raimonda out of the game, but Raimonda is I think she's either on the way to the dentist, or maybe she's even sat in the dentist chair at the moment. But Raimonda had an appointment at the dentist, so she has gone off there. So I'm going to be closing us out today. But I want to remind you that we are going to be returning. We're going to be coming back this evening. Well, this evening's sort of like Europe, UK timing. So it's going to be 7 p.m. UK GMT. And so that is going to make it 2 p.m. EST, Eastern Time. We're going to be coming back for another part of our Unleashing the Power of Women's Voices. And this time we're going to have our wonderful speakers from Canada and America. I think we do have some UK speakers on there as well. But we would love to invite you back to join us. I hope that you've enjoyed our event today. Just wanted to wish you a very merry festive season, whatever it is that you celebrate, whatever it is that you find the joy and the pleasure in, just as Grisha was sharing with us on her talk, whatever it is that you are connecting with and tapping into during this wonderful time over the next couple of weeks. We wish you so much joy and happiness and connection, and we wish you a wonderful new year. And we will be back with our next event in January. But of course, we have our second part of this event, Unleashing the Voices of Women, later on today. So we hope to see you there. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Lots of love, lots of hugs. And